Okay. So I love this topic. I'm super excited to share. Um, so I have this incredible blessing. I see it as I get to talk one on one with people every day in my coaching practice. And I tend to attract sensitive souls, even in these situations. Like anyone who finds me comes to me, you're usually a healer in disguise or a sensitive soul, or you have these gifts to share with the planet, and no one really told you that when you were young. Back in tribal times and how we lived primally, we had these communities, and you can see this around the world still. There's these communities that know that everyone in the community has a special gift. It might be unique, it might be different, but this one person's really good at woodworking with their hands. And then there's the person that's the psychic or the seer. And then there's the person that's the healer, and the person that's the teacher, and the person that's the accountant because they're really good with math. And um, we don't really have that system at play. And bless society today, but we're in an emotional dark age where we don't have that emotional intelligence when we grow up, of saying, I see you, I see your gifts, I see your uniqueness, I see your individuality. You have gifts, you have a purpose, you're special. Obviously, we don't want to get into an egoic sense, but you have all this. Everybody I ever come across, when I go deep into talking to them, we find their gifts. So where I'm getting at is, it saddens my heart. So it's a gift of mine, and it saddens my heart that every day I come across men and women who come to me with the deepest shames, and they're telling me all this stuff they're ashamed of. And I have this intuitive gift where I'm looking at them and going, this is insane. This is their gift. Like no one around them understood them. It wasn't a tribal thing. The people that came before them were afraid of their gifts. So they were afraid of this light worker, these sensitive souls, these healers in disguise, whether that's your job or not, it's just who you are as a being. They didn't understand this, and they didn't understand it in themselves. And so they objectified the person and said, bad, wrong, too much, too emotional. This week alone, people's gifts that have been coming to me, they use the words, and I want you to see if you relate to these words. Too much, I'm too much, a lot, too emotional, too wild, too crazy. Crying is a big one I hear. I cry too much. I feel too much. These are all divine gifts. And you might have a very specific one. So I want you to think, we're going to do this in the meditation. I want you to tune in, like where, and you might not even know, that's why we're opening our mind in this meditation. Where might my deepest gift lie in a deepest shame of mine? You know, for example, the one woman, well, three of the women have this that I work with. They cry when they're in tune with the spiritual truth. So they have this direct phone line to divinity, whatever the heck that means. We don't need to make sense of it. But there's a deeper feeling of connection and truth beyond the programs of our mind. And all of them were like, I don't want to cry in public. I don't want people to think I'm sad. This is so embarrassing. And I'm going, who told you that? Like, you're a breath of fresh air. These things, while our society doesn't love them and understand them, you are meant to accept and love that part of yourself gently, slowly, so your nervous system doesn't go blah. And then you give others permission to do the same. I know it's not easy, but we're permission givers. Like, we've been doing it this old way for so long, we're all tired. And we're like, I got to come out of the closet. I got to come out of my gifts closet. And we say to ourselves, which we'll do today, I'm sorry, little one, for thinking this was a problem, you know? And I mean, it's crazy where all these things live. For me, for example, this is a vulnerable one to share, but I craved attention as a child. And I was like, oh my God, I shouldn't want this. This is bad. This is bad that I want attention. And finally, my own coach set me free and was like, own that. Look what you do. If you didn't want people, like, you need to be able to grab attention for your talks. Like, that's perfect. That's part of your path. That's part of your gift. But when we're little, we're told, be quiet. You shouldn't want this. You shouldn't cry. And our wires get crossed, and all of these things that are meant to pull us into our light, pull us into our purpose, we go, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. I'm wrong. I'm bad. You're not wrong or bad. You're perfect and you're gifted. And we're going to look to see where this may be playing out in your life and help you be aware of it so that you can set yourself free to be a permission giver on the planet. All right. So go ahead, put your music on. And we're going to meditate. Okay, good. It's this journey of reparenting ourselves. It's this journey of, okay, I'm not going to blame those that came before me. They didn't know. Like, and the people that came before them didn't know, but we are starting to wake up. And we can hold ourselves in our own loving arms and change. We don't have to be stuck with all this shame that all of us carry and hide. It's painful to hide. You're allowed to be yourself. It's your divine birthright. All right, so just taking a couple deep inhales and exhales in and out of the body and settling in. And starting as always by feeling that gentle connection between your physical body and the ground underneath of you. Noticing all of those tiny points of contact. There you go. Starting to take 3 deep breaths into the belly and release. Inhale and exhale, slowly allowing yourself to come into this sacred space of healing away from the world. You have found this space to come back home to yourself. That's why you're here in this group. You are a brave soul. You are an irrepressible spirit. And you know deep down that you are a healer in your heart. And that might mean just your love, your presence, your compassion when you're in a room with people, not in what you do, but just in who you are. You know that there is a light in there. And today, in the safety of this space, it's okay to give yourself permission to own that. It's not full of yourself. It's, yeah, I came here to spread light on the planet, and it's okay for me to know and honor and celebrate that part of myself. Today, we just melt a little bit of ice by acknowledging that. And we're allowed to acknowledge that even amidst our humanity, our imperfections. We're humans too. We're human lights. And so we don't need to be perfect to know we have a gift. We're both. And we allow both. Connection to the space under you, deep inhales and exhales, relaxing. Relax your face, nothing to look at all right now. Nothing to analyze. Nothing to see or hear. And we're settling into the inner world of your being. And you rest in a little deeper and your body softens a little more. And you welcome all of you, perhaps completely misunderstood. I welcome the truth of who I am here. I ask for the mistakes, the shame to be corrected, to see my beauty, my worth, my light, my gifts, because they are there. And it is up to me to see them. I'm creating a space in my life with my intention. Settling in one layer deeper, letting go, coming back home. And as we rest inside, we ask ourselves, without needing the grasp for the answer, we're just going to rest in a quiet space for a few moments together. We're curious and we allow answers just to kind of pop into our mind. Nothing right or wrong, just we're exploring something right now. Where in my childhood was I shamed for anything that might actually be a gift that I cannot see? And your mind's going to want to give you proof. Yeah, I was too much. I am too emotional. I do want a lot of attention, and that's wrong. But let your spirit speak. Let your wisdom speak. Where in my life, my childhood, was I innocently shamed and misunderstood for something that is a gift of mine and wants to be slowly and gently accepted and loved back to health? And as the answers arise, we greet them with compassion. And I want you to surrender the shame, We don't have to not feel it, but we're just choosing, I'm going to let go of this mistake in my mind. I'm going to choose to let this version of my story go today and create space for the truth of my gifts. Even if this is too far-fetched for my brain right now, I'm open. I'm open. And we say to the shame, I'm sorry for your pain and this misunderstanding. I'm sorry they couldn't see your gifts. They didn't know how. But today, after the pain leaves the body, I open my mind to seeing that I was perfect all along, just perhaps misunderstood. And I meant to accept and embrace and celebrate these gifts, to create a new world with new realities and more love, more acceptance of self. So whatever it was, asking your mind now, what is the gift here that I couldn't see? How is this a gift to me? It could be simple, as in I feel a lot because I'm an example that it is okay to feel a lot. Where's the gift instead of the shame? Just exploring, where could it possibly be? What could it possibly be? Even if the answer doesn't fully come yet. And I allow myself in the safety of my own meditation to proclaim that I accept this part of me. Even if others don't get it yet, first I allow it. I may even be confused because I might not even like it. But I am open to accepting this, to seeing this differently. You are safe here with me, little one, with this gift. I will release the need from this moment forward to judge you, to criticize you, or to shame you when this gift shows up. And instead, I will honor and celebrate that this is part of our bigger mission here on earth, one that our brain might not even be able to comprehend, but one that we can feel in the depths of our being. We know that this is okay on some level. We can feel that, or too embarrassed to say, this is okay. This is wanted. This is allowed. Today you say it. Today you allow it. Feeling this part find safety in your arms, encompassed with gold light, as if you're holding a child who's been all alone and misunderstood. This part of you begins to come back home. And as you tune into this gift that's starting to form, I want you to sit with it as you're just together drinking iced tea on a pond, fishing. Gentle sun, warm breeze, couple birds, no big deal. And you just ask this newfound understanding and gift, this misunderstood part, what do you want to tell me that I might not know about you? What message do you want to impart today? As you allow these messages, hunches to integrate into your awareness, you allow this energy, this gift, this okayness, this acceptance to rest in your heart space, held safe by your own arms, not needing to agree with anyone around you if it isn't in alignment with this new truth, that there is nothing wrong with you. You were just misunderstood. Yeah, we can grow and make mistakes and learn and correct. There's still nothing wrong with us there. That's part of humanity. It just is. And we have the wisdom inside to guide us with common sense that allows us to safely live in the space of these gifts without going off the deep end. We know what to do with them. It is safe to own and celebrate them. So you begin to bring breath into your belly again. 3 deep breaths and release. Nice and slow. And you slowly start to feel that physical connection between your body and what's underneath of it. Grounding the physical body to the earth. As you place your awareness right behind your eyes, you're planted inside of your body. Planted on the surface, plugged into the earth, in your breath. right here, slowed down, present in your heart, in the deep knowing of your own unique truth. Taking another deep cleansing inhale in and out of the body. As you release and begin to slowly make your way back to the physical and stretch, wiggle, move the body. And then as you feel ready, you can open up your eyes to the day. Thank you, beautiful souls, for joining me.